Hi guys, Autumn here today to do my wrap up for the reading rush. Yes, sorry it's a little late. I just didn't film like filming for the past few days. So yes. Um, the day one I read a total of 239 pages. I read a 212 pages of A Chant by Macaulay Smeltzer. This was a reread. This I really enjoyed, and yeah. And then I read a total of 26 pages of Driven by K. Bomberg, and this was also a reread. This is book one in the Driven series. Then on day two, I read 116 pages of Driven by Kay Bomberg. And then I read and finished 166 pages of A Chant by Macaulay Smeltzer. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. As I said, it was a reread. So, yes, and this is book one in the Chanted series. This follows Mara and Theo, and Mara just learned she is a enchanter, and she's learning how to use her powers, learning more about herself, and yes, 5 out of 5 stars. I'm really excited to continue on with the series and highly recommend if you like witch books. So, and then I read 24% of It's Not Over, and sorry. But It's Not Over by Kaylee Ryan and Lacey Black. This came out on the 23rd, and that's the cover. 24% of that. So my total for day two was 282 pages read, and I finished a challenge, and I don't remember what challenge this meant for. Oh, I think non-human character. Not a main human character. So I finished one challenge, and then on day three I read 76% of this, and gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. This follows Gwen and Harrison, who are getting a divorce, and they have one final goodbye, and later find out that Gwen is pregnant, and then Harrison is trying to win her back. 5 out of 5 stars, really enjoyed it, and yes. And then I read 40 pages of Driven by Kay Bomberg on day 3, and my total was 331 pages. On day 4, I read 130 pages of Driven and finished this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This was book one in the Driven series. This was the book to movie adaptation and read a author's first book. This follows Riley and Colton. Colton is a driver, and Riley is like a head. I don't know what it's called, but she like runs a business fostering young boys in a house, and they meet at one of her fundraisers, and yeah, 4 out of 5 stars, and really love the TV show that Passionflix does. I rewatched that too. I listened to it on audio. And then still on day 4, I then finished and read How We Fell in Love by Tony Aleo. This is book 15.5 in the Nashville Assassin series. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. This follows Grace and James. Grace is Shay's sister from Taking Shots. The Taken Shots? Yes, Taken Shots. And you meet how Grace and James fall in love. It was very cute and I loved it. So this one counted for purple on the cover because it has purple on the cover. This also read in the same spot, and I think it counted for one more. I don't remember. Oh yeah, and then 5 or more words in the title. So yes, so I read and finished that, which was 106 pages. And then I also read and finished 230 pages of How to Date a Douchebag, The Lying Hours by Sarah Nye. This is the 5th book in the How to Date a Douchebag series. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Skylar and Abe. And Abe is running his best friend's dating site and talking to all the girls for his friend. And he meets Skylar through that, and it was cute. I enjoyed it. I listened to this on audio, so yes. So that brings day 4 total of 462 pages. And then on day 5 was my worst day. I only read 62 pages-ish. Because I listened to the Riri Romance podcast, but it doesn't have a page count, so I don't know how many pages I've read. Ish. But the first book I read was Rescued by the Ranger by Alexa Riley, and this is book 2 in the Camp Hardwood series. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Zara and Moose, and I really enjoyed it. I read this from Scribd, and this follows Zora, who decides to go on a hike, and she gets trapped, and then Moose saves her. Yes. And then I listened to Smolder by Ali Martinez. This was the Read Me Romance podcast. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is the first book by her that I've read, and it follows Ivy and Mateo, and I really did enjoy it, and yeah. And then on day 6, I read 320 pages of Beauty in the Ashes by Macaulay Smeltzer. This also has purple on the cover, but I didn't count that for that. This was for meant to read last year. I've been meaning to read this book forever, and I just never got to it. So I finally did. I read 320 pages of it on day 6. And then also on day 6, I read 53 pages of Miro by Taryn Fisher. I listened to this when I walked home from work, and I enjoyed it. So on day 6, my total was 373 pages. Then on day 7, I read another 62 pages of Miro. And then I read 305 pages and finished Beauty in the Ashes by Macaulay Smeltzer. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and this follows Sutton and Callan. I'm going to call him Callan, I don't know. Kalen, I don't know how to say his name. But this is a very, very dark romance. Just be aware, this opens up with Callan finding his parents and sister murdered, and it's 5 years later. Deals with they are next door neighbors, Sutton and Callan, and Sutton is running away from her demons, and Callan is a alcoholic drug user, so they both have very dark pasts, and yes, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend if you like dark romance. And yeah. Then also on day 7, I also started Resist by Kay Bomberg. This is book 1 in the Wicked Ways series. This was an arc from Net Gala, but now it's out. It came out on the 30th. So yes, this and Miro will be in my video wrap up on Sunday. And I'm gonna do a full review on this too. But I get that follows Vaughn and Riker. But those are all of the books I read. I managed to read 8 books. I finished almost all of the challenges, and I got all of the badges. The only one challenge I did not do was to post an Instagram picture or Bookstagram picture. But I read a total of 2,207 pages, and I read 8 books. I finished all the challenges. I gave a book 5 stars. I gave a few books 5 stars. I finished Purple on the Cover, author's first book, nudity or non-human character, 5 or more words, TV movie adaptation or movie adaptation. What was? I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting, but anyways, I achieved the reading rush, and I'm really happy about that. And yeah, so if you want a full review on any of these, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to. And how well did you guys do on the reading rush? And I'll see you guys later. Bye.